Okay. I'll just explain to them a little more when they get back. So, students will be exploring concepts with expressive lines and the emotions or feelings that they can portray. They will be using different size micron pens to achieve desired lines for their individual projects. So, each of these little packs has a 1, a 3, and a 5. If you guys want thicker lines and you need like a Sharpie, just let me know. I don't exactly know where Sharpies are in this class, but I can find them. So you'll be using different size pens to get your desired lines for your projects. And you're going to start in your sketchbooks. You all have sketchbooks, right? So I would get a ruler, and these are, I believe they're 4x6 pieces of paper, and just trace out like a couple 4x6 squares in your sketchbook just to start your initial designs before you'll be putting them on. These are like your final papers, and then we'll be matting them onto mat boards. So there's going to be 2 rows and 3 going down, so 6 total of design. So it's not going to be a 9 like this, it's just going to be 2 rows with the 3. So yeah, you'll start by just drawing out some of these squares, and then kind of start brainstorming what kind of designs you want to do. And then I'll be coming around and kind of looking and talking through with you guys like what your ideas are and what your designs are before you start putting it onto these pieces of paper. But it should only take a couple class periods depending on how detailed you go with them. I would like them to be really detailed, but also it might not be something crazy. Like some of mine were just literally like fuzzy lines or like things like that. So yeah, you can kind of think about, what was that?
I think we have the papers already.
Okay. Yeah. There's individual papers in there. These were just extras, so if you mess up, just let me know and I'll give you new ones. But yeah, it's kind of interesting because like a squiggly line like this kind of reminds me of like if smoke's coming up from a fire, and something like that might remind you of like when a penny drops into water and then the water splashes back up. This kind of reminds me of like a shift. So it's interesting how different lines can express different things or be a metaphor for something. So yeah, that's basically it. I want you guys to just start in your sketchbooks for now and kind of brainstorm, and you can use your Chromebooks to look up more examples. Just Google like expressive line, and there's so many. So does anyone have any questions?
Should we keep it abstract?
Yeah, you can keep it abstract. It doesn't have to be like, what do you mean?
Can we take it into more of like I had a thought about doing it in person.
Yeah,
So
you
we
could
like-
totally do something like that. When I was looking up expressive lines, like there was like sketches of like faces and stuff, but just using like line work. So instead of like shading and stuff like that, so you can do things like that too. Kind of like run with it.
And are we using our own, like, are we picking what we want to do for our lines? Like what
Yeah.
emotions we want to provoke?
Yeah. You can like brainstorm a list in your sketchbook too of like what emotions you want to achieve. I'm pretty sure I have like a post assessment, maybe. Yeah. And it's just kind of like, well, this was a submit a rough sketch, but I'm not having you do that right now. But it's kind of going to be like what emotions were being portrayed and how did you go about doing that, and just kind of like a reflection explaining what your vision and plan was throughout it. But yeah, you can like brainstorm a list and then go from there.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have any questions? Okay, break. You can start in your sketchbooks and I'll come around.